Hey everybody, I just went ahead and I'm putting in some zeros, and I noticed that a lot of you are missing your the wife story project. So I want to go ahead and go over that with you real quick. Let me go ahead and pull up the project and show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is it right here. I passed this out on March 13th. So what I want you to do is look at these pre-reading questions, and this is what you're going to do before you read the story. So number one, what is an unreliable narrator? What does it mean to be unreliable? And then a narrator is somebody that tells the story. So what does it mean to be an unreliable storyteller? Think about that. Have you ever kept a secret from someone? What are some reasons that we do keep secrets? Have you ever been surprised by somebody? Has somebody ever acted completely out of character towards you? And then how does that make you feel? And then finally, have you ever known that someone was wrong? Have you ever known that something was wrong with someone, but you didn't bring it up? Why are some reasons we don't bring things up when we know or we can sense that something's wrong with someone? Okay. So then what I want you to do after you do these questions is you can click on this link right here. It's posted to Teams and LiveGrades, it's also in the workbook that I passed out on March the 13th. So you need to read the story. There's also an audio version of the story available on YouTube that you can listen to if you need to. Then what I want you to do is I want you to read these questions down here, the post-reading comprehension questions, and you need to respond to them. So from what point of view is the narrative told? Where did the wife first see her husband? What is the wife's relationship with her sister? How did the community view the husband? Where does the wife think her husband's curse came from? How did their youngest daughter react to seeing her father? Then up here, number 7, a lot of people have missed this question, so make sure that you pay attention. What happens to the husband every month? Number 8, how does the husband react when he changes? Who first comes to the rescue of the wife from the monster that the husband turns into? And then finally, what happens to the husband at the end of the story? So again, make sure you pay attention to number 7. It's not a werewolf. So take a look at that. And then after you answer these questions, I want you to look at these discussion questions. So I want you to answer all of them and think about them, okay? So based on your knowledge of unreliable narrators, do you think that the wife, the storyteller, is she an unreliable narrator? Even though the text never explicitly states her feelings after her husband's death, how do you interpret the wife's feelings in the aftermath of discovering the secret? So think about what she said about her husband, how they acted towards each other, and then you have to take a guess. How does she feel about losing him at the end of the story? And then finally, what do you think the story's theme or the author's message is? So think about, what do you think the author's message about an idea in the story, about keeping secrets, or about keeping things from somebody that you love? Give me 1 to 2 sentences that explain what you think the message of the story is, okay? Now, after you get done with all this, what you need to work on is this creative project down here. You need to pick one of these 3 topics here. So on LiveGrades and Teams, I have sample number 2, sample comic book pages. What you need to do is, using comic book pages, or you can draw your own if you can't print them out, that's fine. Create a minimum 6-panel comic book in which you retell the story's plot. Make sure you have a clear panel for the exposition, that's the beginning, the inciting incident, so that's the moment where all the action happens, the rising action, the climactic moment, and the resolution. So comic book panels must employ color in some creative aspect. If you don't have access to colored pencils or markers and you'd like to do this project, just do it with pencil and pen, and that's fine. Number 1, okay, so this is the one that might be most accessible for everybody. In this story, we only see events from the wife's reactions and perspective. Compose a 250 to 500 word narrative in which you write about the events either from the husband's or the children's perspective. Your narrative must include at least 3 lines of dialogue and details from the text. Your narrative also must include a clear beginning, middle, climactic moment, and resolution. Okay, so I want you to write the story that you just read, but from somebody else's point of view. That's all I want. Okay, and then finally, here's your third choice. And what you need to do is go back to that theme that you generated from question number 3. And what I want you to do is create a collage. A collage just basically means you're going to take a bunch of pictures and you're going to put them together, or a visual art piece. And that whatever that means to you, okay, in which you visually explore the story's theme. Says sometimes words mean things in different contexts, and words mean things with images. So I want you to explore how your interpretation of the story relates with images rather than words. So if your theme is about betrayal or lost love, think about what images you could paint, draw, or color to create a visual medium that expresses the theme of the text. Visual art projects must be on clean printer paper or poster board. So get a clean piece of paper. You can use a piece of notebook paper if you want. If you have a bunch of magazines or newspapers lying around at your house, you can use those and like put them all together. And then you need to compose a 100 to 250 word paragraph explaining your visual art piece in context. Okay, so I'm going to show you an example real quick of what someone did last year. This is a really good example right here. And you can see what the student did is they drew stuff and then they put pictures around it. Then the student wrote a really nice paragraph that explained what they meant by all of those images. Okay, so you can use a lot of images. I really want the whole paper completely filled though with color or pictures or something like that if you choose to do the third example. Okay. So obviously ignore that due date down there, but I'd like everything, normal, double space, Times New Roman, if that's possible, and then you can send it to that email address, or you can send it to me on Teams or c.olavito@k12.wv.us, and then here's a rubric. This is how I'm going to be looking at your work, so you can look at 10. What to do to get a 10. This is worth 40 points. So you're going to get 40 points for just attempting it, and then you're going to get an actual grade out of 40. Okay. So I really miss you guys, and this is the assignment that I'm missing from most people. So if you don't have this done, make sure you're working on this before you get done with all that Macbeth stuff. So I know everybody's working really hard. Hang in there. I know it's stressful, but I really believe in you guys, and I'm here if you need any help. Just shoot me an email and just try your best. Okay, I know you can do it. All right, guys. I'm gonna get out of here, and I really miss you. And just email me or text me if you need help. Okay, bye, guys.